Here we go. The episode begins with a camp catching on fire. Woman with red hair is just watching everything around her burst into flames. Tents, wagons, a horse? Then it's the next morning and Bastard King's bodyguard is telling Son of Fire what happened. Apparently 20 men came in during the night and lit everything on fire at once. Son of Fire seems completely unfazed by this development, even though Bastard King's bodyguard is basically telling him that they're screwed. Maybe if Son of Fire actually listened to him, this wouldn't happen in the next episode. We cut to Bastard King leading a huge group of people to the wall. Tiny Eyes stands at the top of the wall and looks down at them with his tiny little eyes. He shouts for the gate to be opened and then Bastard King and all these wildlings walk inside. The Night's Watchmen don't look very pleased to have wildlings in their castle, which is further illustrated when Bastard King smiles at little stabbing boy, but he doesn't smile back. We cut to Son of Fire telling Bastard King's bodyguard to go back to the wall and tell Tiny Eyes to send a bunch of food and horses to Son of Fire's army. Bastard King's bodyguard is like, why are you sending me? You could send a messenger boy to do this. It seems like Son of Fire is intentionally trying to get rid of Bastard King's bodyguard because he's about to do some shady stuff. Bastard King's bodyguard then asks if he can bring Two-Face with him, since it's not safe for her to be on the front lines of a battle. And Son of Fire says no. Oh no. This must be the episode when Son of Fire and Woman with Red Hair sacrifice Two-Face. Why? Bastard King's bodyguard goes into Two-Face's tent and they hang out and laugh like good old friends. If I were to just look at these two with no prior information about their characters and guess which one was gonna die first, I definitely wouldn't pick the little 12-year-old girl to die before her 70-year-old best friend. Oh my gosh, and then he gives her the little wooden deer figure that he finds in the rubble of the fire in the next season. It feels like Bastard King's bodyguard knows there's something bad about to happen. This may be the only situation where I'm rooting for an old man to kidnap a young child. He thanks her for teaching him how to read and then he walks away. We cut to Handsome Man in Armor at Poison Lips' house. He's here to bring his daughter/niece back home, but she wants to stay here with her sexy boyfriend. And I can't blame her. Oh my god, look at this guy. He's got a little puff of chest hair sticking out, he's got a beautiful desert tan, a full head of thick curly hair. Look at those lips. Good God. This is what I look like in my dreams. Handsome Man in Armor tells Dreamy Guy's brother that he and Short-Haired Queen received a threatening message. In episode 2, they opened up a box with Short-Haired Queen's daughter's necklace in the mouth of a viper. Poison Lips is making it very obvious that she's probably the one who sent the necklace. She hates the Lannisters and she's not hiding it at all. When they toast to Justin Bieber, she just pours her drink out on the floor. Dreamy Guy's brother says he wants Short-Haired Queen and her sexy boyfriend to go back to King's Landing. And he asks that the sexy boyfriend be a part of the King's Council so that Dorne and King's Landing can be real allies. Handsome Man in Armor agrees and then Poison Lips gets really mad and walks away. Handsome Man in Armor asks what's gonna happen to Greasy Mullet Guy because apparently he punched Sexy Boyfriend in the face. Dreamy Guy's brother says that he'll let Sexy Boyfriend decide Greasy Mullet Guy's fate. And then Sexy Boyfriend says he'll let him free on one condition. And then we cut to Greasy Mullet Guy in his jail cell. We also see those weird desert women. Who are these people? Every scene I've ever seen them in, they're just there to take up time. I feel like the writers of season 5 were like, oh, well, this episode's only 40 minutes long. Let's add 15 minutes of these desert women slapping each other's hands. I mean, obviously, I'm definitely wrong, and I haven't seen enough of the show to really understand what's going on, but they're literally playing patty cake for 2 minutes in this scene. Some guards in Bumblebee outfits show up and escort Greasy Mullet Guy out of the jail. Then Handsome Man in Armor tells him he's free, but there's one condition. And then the big guard elbows him in the face. That was the condition? That was it? Guys, season 5 is bad. There's no real way around it. I am a Game of Thrones fan at this point. I've watched enough of the series where I can say that I'm a fan of the show. And I really like season 4. I really like season 6. But season 5 is just like really terrible. How could it go from being good to bad to good again? I guess it's kind of like how George Clooney was a beautiful heartthrob in the 80s and then he went through this really weird phase and was kind of nasty. And then he became a gorgeous sex angel again.
You know why kids love athletes?
We cut to young sad girl selling clams, and if my memory serves me, which sometimes it doesn't, quite frankly, I believe she's gonna go kill this thin man over here who runs a weird insurance company. The thin man asks for some oysters, but young sad girl gets distracted by something. She ignores him and looks at a boat. Oh my gosh, there he is. Mean Mr. Bean. Young sad girl is about to kill him in the next episode. She stalks him as he goes into a bank, and then she waits around until he comes back outside. Fancy Armor Man is here, and he sings a song about kissing, which instantly boosts him into my top 5 favorite characters in the show. And then we cut to nighttime. Mean Mr. Bean and his friends show up at a brothel. Young sad girl lingers behind them, and then she also just walks into the brothel. The guy in charge of the brothel, we'll call him the brothel boy, tells young sad girl to leave. But then one of the brothel workers is like, hey, let her stay. I'm hungry, and also I want my breath to smell like oysters while I kiss people. Then we see Mean Mr. Bean looking at all the brothel workers trying to decide who he wants to have sex with. He says no to 3 really beautiful women, saying that they're too old, even though all of them looked no older than 19 or 20. Instead of just telling Mean Mr. Bean that since he said no to all their women, there's nothing left, this brothel lady tries to appease him and brings out an actual child, like a 14-year-old girl. Why is his business so important to you that you're willing to give up an actual child? Tell him to go to the brothel down the street. Everyone in the show is a monster, besides Uncle Kevin. I miss my sweet Uncle Kevin. We cut to Dreamy Guy's brother telling Poison Lips that if she doesn't swear her allegiance to him, she will die. Oh, okay, so these weird desert women were part of Poison Lips' rebellion. Poison Lips kneels before Dreamy Guy's brother and kisses his hand. Then we cut to Poison Lips visiting Handsome Man in Armor. Poison Lips knows that Handsome Man in Armor is banging Short-Haired Queen because literally everyone in the world knows. Like, how obvious does it have to be if this woman who lives on another continent knows that you're porking your sister? We cut to Two-Face playing with her deer figurine and reading a book. Son of Fire walks in and starts speaking really ominously about how he has a purpose and he must fulfill his destiny. And then, of course, being the sweet little child that she is, Two-Face asks if there's any way that she can help him. And he says yes. I guess this is just the episode where we don't care about children's lives. They walk outside and Two-Face still doesn't know what's going on. This poor girl. She sees a bunch of wood set up perfectly for a human sacrifice, and then she sees woman with red hair. She does some quick mental math in her head, and she tries to run away, but then these men grab her and tie her to a pole. Son of Fire and his wife casually walk out to watch their daughter get sacrificed. Son of Fire's wife is like, God wants us to do this, it'll be great. This is like that story in the Bible where God commands Abraham to kill his son, and Abraham's like, yeah, sure, I'll kill my son. And then he's about to do it, and God's like, wait, what are you doing? Hold on, you psychopath. I don't want you to actually kill your son. Kill this ram instead, you freaking lunatic. This is like that, but for Game of Thrones. Except in the Game of Thrones version, the Lord of Light is just gonna let Son of Fire kill his daughter. Gods are weird. Woman with red hair says a prayer and then lights all the wood on fire. And then these hundreds of adults just stand around and watch a child burn to death. This does explain why Son of Fire's wife hangs herself in the next episode though. We cut to a huge coliseum full of cheering fans. Oh wow, the whole gang's here. They're about to watch people fight each other like gladiator battles. I guarantee Scarguy's gonna show up and fight people because his go-to move when Legolas Queen is ignoring him is to show up and fight people to impress her. The first duo to fight are a strong man and a quick man. Leatherboy says that he would bet money on the small quick man, but Legolas Queen's husband says that the strong man will win. Leatherboy talks about how when he used to fight in the Colosseum, he was small but was able to win with his speed, all while flinging his dagger around and putting it near Legolas Queen's husband's head. Legolas Queen seems very into it, but then the strong man chops the quick man's head off. Legolas Queen's husband loves violence. He tells Peter Dinklage and Legolas Queen that watching these people kill each other is good for the city. You know what else would be good for the city? Not people not dying. Then right on cue, Scarguy shows up, but this time there's 6 people in the ring who are all fighting each other. My strategy here would be to run around the edge of the circle as fast as I could to avoid fighting people and let everybody else kill each other. Then whoever the last person standing is, hopefully they're very injured at this point, I would take my sword, I would stand 10 feet away at all times, you can't come close to me, and I would throw my sword at them, hoping it would kill them. And if it doesn't kill them, then I'll jump into the stands and try to blend in. But all these guys are super dumb. They pair off and fight each other, and none of them run away. Scarguy and this other guy kill their opponent at the same time, so they start fighting each other. And then Scarguy starts losing. He's getting sliced left and right, and then he gets knocked down to the ground, and this guy stands over him with a sword. Legolas Queen is freaking out on the sidelines, but then Scarguy's opponent gets stabbed in the back. So now Scarguy is fighting the guy that just saved his life. They go at it for a little while, and then Scarguy does a fancy little somersault and stabs him in the stomach. The power of gymnastics. Scarguy gets up, grabs the spear, and then throws it right into the area where Legolas Queen is sitting. What the heck? Was he aiming for Legolas Queen's husband? No! He hits a son of the Harpy. Leatherboy looks around and somehow everybody failed to notice that 50 sons of the Harpy wearing their crazy masks are just sitting all around them. Leatherboy, you're terrible at your job. These freaky golden masks don't exactly blend in. How did you not see all these? The sons of the Harpy start killing everyone in the stands and it's just chaos. These audience members came because they thought they'd be watching other people kill each other, not people kill them. They really should have had to pay more for such an immersive experience. The penisless army starts fighting them off and Legolas Queen's husband gets stabbed. Scarguy climbs up and offers his hand to Legolas Queen, who takes it and runs off with him. One of the sons of the Harpy tries to kill biracial Emma Watson, but Peter Dinklage stabs him. Peter Dinklage has surprisingly killed like a dozen people in the course of this series. And those that he hasn't killed, he's killed with kindness. I love Peter Dinklage. They're looking around for an exit, but they're locked in. All the Sons of the Harpy surround them, and it looks like all hope is lost. Then the Sons of the Harpy start attacking one by one. Why? There are so many of you. If your whole goal is just to kill Legolas Queen, everybody charge at once and kill her. Why are these people back here just holding their swords up waiting? Legolas Queen closes her eyes and thinks really hard, and it looks like she's farting. But really, she's summoning her dragon. The dragon shows up and just kills all the Sons of the Harpy. And then these jerks start throwing spears at the dragon. Legolas Queen casually walks away from her guards and towards the dragon. The show does this all the time. In the middle of a huge battle, people want to kill her, but she has 15 seconds to walk over to her dragon, put her hand out, and no one throws a spear at her or anything. She slowly climbs on top of her dragon and is like, "Peace out, everybody. I'm getting out of here. You all can just stay here and die." And then she flies away. And then the episode ends. Wow, Legolas Queen, you really left your friends out to dry there. Luckily, somehow, in the next episode, they're just fine. They somehow got out of that Colosseum unscathed. Were the Sons of the Harpy like, "Oh, well, she's gone, we better go ahead and go home. No point in killing her bodyguards or her assistants." Am I being grumpy today? I feel like I'm being grumpy. Listen, you guys know how I feel about season 5, and this episode definitely had some questionable moments. But there were some good things. I liked seeing Mean Mr. Bean be a jerk, because it makes young sad girl killing him that much sweeter. All in all, this episode was fine. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Let's reach into these boxes and see which episode I'm gonna watch next. Season 2, Episode 3. Season 5, Episode 1. Season 1, Episode 8. Season 3, Episode 2. Season 6, Episode 7. So those are the options for which episode I'm gonna watch next. There should be a poll right here, a little box. Go ahead and click on that and vote for which episode you'd like me to watch. Here's a graphic to show you which episodes I've already seen to help you make your decision. Some of you have been really nice to me and have supported me on Patreon, so it's time for the shoutouts. Watch this. Look, I'm a ventriloquist. This wasn't edited or anything. This is me being a ventriloquist. Okay, let's get to the shoutouts. Phil Rose. Phil Rose? What's your job? An usher at a Broadway theater? Where your job is to fill rows of seats with audience members? We're starting off hot, Phil. Thank you so much for the support. Saz Redland. Saz? That's an interesting first name. I like it. Okay, Saz. I've got a great Halloween costume idea for you. You're gonna take a shirt. You're gonna write the word barbecue on it. You're gonna go to the Halloween party. You're gonna say, "Hey, I'm Barbecue Saz." Because your name sounds like sauce. I'm sure you get that all the time, and I'm really sorry for doing that. But you know what, Saz? I'm not sorry. Because it's a great idea. I wish my name was Saz so that I could be Barbecue Saz for Halloween. So you're welcome, Saz, and thank you for the support. Richard Roth. Richard Roth, RR. George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones, it all comes full circle. Are you George R.R. Martin, posing as a man named Richard Roth? What does RR stand for in George R.R. Martin? Rest and relaxation? Because of how long it takes him to write a frickin' book? Roasted you, George R.R. Martin. I know this is you. I know you're not really Richard Roth. Anyways, Richard, thank you so much for the support. Gen H. You know how the generation after the baby boomers is Gen X? Gen H kind of sounds like a generation of people, but it's a generation for hot people. Or hairy people. No, hot people. So, congratulations, Gen H. You are in your own generation, and it's just you and your generation hot. You're hot as hell. Thank you so much for the support, Gen H. If you want to support me on Patreon, there's a link in the description below, and I'm gonna put a button at the end of the video. Check out my Patreon page, or don't if you don't want to, but if you still want to support me in some way, I made a shirt. What? I know, I did it. If you go below the video, there's a bunch of like options for a shirt, a sweatshirt, and so on. I only have one design right now. The shirt is very simple. It's black. There's white text. Why don't I show you a picture instead? I'm not really a big guy when it comes to like merch stuff, so this is all I have right now, but if this seems to do well, I'll make more merch, and I'm open to ideas as well. Like, if you guys want to leave a comment with an idea for a shirt or a hoodie or a thing that goes in your phone, what are those called? Those things that like a mole, those moles that come out of your phone that you stick your fingers on so you don't drop your phone. I'll make whatever you guys want me to make, so just leave me a comment, tweet at me at SteveClark217 with some ideas, and maybe we'll make some shirts together. Okay, bye!